Hello everyone. Sorry for the background noise today. Today is laundry day. I've been putting it off way too much and I really need to get it done. So, let's start Kaiju review for you with yours truly. So today I want to go over last night's Twitch stream of Godzilla the series, where we wanted to try something new, and we start doing live commentary on Twitch. For anyone who who didn't catch it, it's still up for a few days before we load it up on YouTube. It will be we'll get it up on the Facebook page. Send a like, subscribe, and give a follow. Alert the bell, and we'll get back to you on it. So we're going over the first two episodes, because it's part one and part two, and I didn't want to do it separately. And the first two episodes, the new family of Godzilla the series, is pretty fun. So this is kind of a quick skirt of the first two episodes of the series. So episode 1, New Family, part 1. The writers Robert Skier and Marty Eisenberg. Director Adu Padin. Originally aired on Fox Kids and on September 12th of '98. This is a short abbreviation on two parts of it, and then we'll go into a little bit more talk about it. Just when the first Godzilla is destroyed, another one is born. Imprinting on Nick Totopoulos, the Infinite eludes the military, then follows Nick to his waterfront headquarters. Rather than destroying the new Godzilla, Nick resolves to study it, and a bond soon grows between them. He recruits Elsie Chapman, Mendel Craven, and Randy Hernandez to form HEAT, a team to assist in his research and keep Godzilla a secret. The secret doesn't last long as Godzilla grows rapidly, and Audrey and Animal, for those who do not remember Audrey and Animal, that Audrey was the love interest for him in the '98 film, and Animal was the cameraman, who was done by Dave Castellaneta, who everybody should know him as Homer Simpson. Learn what the group has been up to. A desperate Nick convinces them to temporarily hold off on reporting the story of a lifetime. Meanwhile, ocean disasters near Jamaica have raised concerns that a mutation may be responsible. When Major Hicks learns of the new Godzilla, he suspects it's the culprit and is torn between killing the monster and trusting in Nick. But in the end, Godzilla is attacked by the military and apparently destroyed. As the end of episode 1. So then in part 2 of New Family, the writers for that episode was Robert Skier and Marty Eisenberg, director Adu Padin. Originally aired on September 19th of '98. In the wake of Godzilla's apparent death, Nick convinces HEAT to stay together to study other mutations around the world. The team travels to Jamaica to investigate attacks on the boat and swimmers from what appeared to be a giant squid. Monique Dupre is assigned to the team by Philippe Roche, who, people who do not remember Roche, he was the French insurance guy from the film, and Randy is instantly smitten with the sexy but cold French secret agent. HEAT discovers several large, aggressive, giant squids, and it's only the last-minute arrival of the very much alive Godzilla that saves the day. After examining the corpse of squids, Nick theorizes that the animals are not the main threat, and that this is actually a super predator at the top of the local food chain. The predator is soon to be revealed to be Crustaceous Rex, a gigantic beast with a crab-like carapace, segmented arms, dozens of tentacles, and a head that spirals open like a weird flower. Basically, the best way to describe this It is a crab with giant legs that looks like the face of the thing from Stranger Things. The Sea Rex comes ashore and tears apart the seaside village before it is confronted by Godzilla. The two mutations face off at the first monster battle of the series, while Hicks and the U.S. military prepare to deal with the winner. And, on a side note, the first 2 episodes were written by the main story editor and head writers of Godzilla the series, and do an excellent job of laying the foundation for the show. All the main characters and their relationships are established, as is Major Hicks' decision that Godzilla may be a necessarily evil he will have to live with. C-Rex returns in future episodes, and most notably, in the Monster War story, and the story arc was released on VHS with Trouble Hatches. Now, those short descriptions were actually from a very old article, and I think it was the best to describe it, but this was from Sci-Fi Japan from years ago. If it says anything, I remember this back in early college and high school. So this article is about over 10 years old. So it still breaks down a good chunk of it, and I thought it would help kind of give a short, forgive me, and I thought it would help kind of summon up the story better than I ever could without rambling on. It was good to rewatch the first 2 episodes of this. I loved Godzilla the series. A lot of people didn't care for Zilla or Godzilla 98. I loved it. It was the first Godzilla movie I ever saw growing up. First Godzilla movie I saw growing up, and I fell in love with it. I had the toys. And that's the thing. I remember going to Kmart when the movie released, and just seeing it, begging my parents to get it, and we finally got me a copy on VHS, and the VHS copy was really, really run down. So let's get on with some of the character differences on this. It was very, very cool to see Godzilla get a new TV show after all this time. They ended up doing a lot of different things with this. So let's get on to our. Let's talk about some of the main human characters before we get to our main big star of the show. Let's talk about the differences between the main characters and their live action movie counterparts. For me, Matthew Broderick was not made for this role. We all know, for people who've studied the film and researched it, know that they just wanted a big name actor at the time, and Matthew Broderick was the big thing for Emmerich and them. Even for Emmerich and them, they did not. He's even come out and said it. He does not care for Godzilla. He just wanted an excuse to make another disaster movie, and this gave him more reason to do it. And it's and a lot of people will agree. It's as a kaiju movie, it's phenomenal. As a Godzilla movie, not so much, but I still consider it a great Godzilla movie, especially for what it is. It's a different interpretation of Godzilla, and that is what Godzilla is, should be taken up as a different interpretation of the time. Because for this Godzilla was based more along the line of the 1993 World Trade Center attack bombings that ended up happening. So let's start off with Dr. Nick Tatopoulos, the Worm Guy by Major Hicks. That's the same. He's in his late 20s. He's a humanist. He's an optimist and an idealist. Nick would rather be researching the effects of radiation on earthworms and serving as the leader of a ragtag band of scientists and adventurers. But Nick's desperate times call for desperate measures. Nick spends his college years attending anti-nuke rallies and other environmental causes with his on-again, off-again sweetheart, Andre Timmons. He then went to work for the Nuclear Regulatory Commission, hoping to change the system from within. And it was during the 3-year study of the unusual growth patterns of the Chernobyl earthworm that Nick was recruited by Major Hicks to study a certain reptile with an even more unusual biology. Like, comparing Nick in the show compared to Nick in the in the movie, is like comparing apples to oranges. It is absolutely, like, they're completely different. Especially, like, the way that the Nick in the show carries himself. Like, you can feel like he is the one in charge. He's the one who needs to take charge of it. He feels he's the only one to do it. He is not afraid to take a stand for what he believes in. Like, compared to what Ferris Bueller acted like. And, like, there's, like, like with the show, you still get, like, some quips, but not like this quips of, that's a lot of fish. Yeah, so, sorry about that. I had to take a break for something. So, then, because even, I'm glad they ended up changing the voice from going from, especially going from, Ferris Bueller to, former 90210 star Ian Ziering. And that's the thing, I think they did a fantastic job through all the episodes, and he does get into it, and you can tell he's enjoying himself with it. Especially even when he was repeating "go, go, go, go," it's a bit of a meme within itself. So then we'll get to, next we got it's like some of the two characters that didn't do a lot in the movie, but became a staple in the animated series, was Dr. Elsie Chapman. Now, once again, we are taking this little short from the old Sci-Fi Japan article. Sharp-tongued and sarcastic, Elsie is a biologist in her mid-30s. She is brilliant, and she knows it. Elsie has a tendency to talk down to everyone on Heat, particularly Nick. He used to answer to her when she was the head of the original Godzilla research team, and she's not crazy about the whole role reversal thing now. She overcompensates by lordly her authority over Randy, who ignores her, and Craven, who used to taking orders from her anyway. In shameless and aggressive flirts, Elsie is the master of the double entity, especially when it comes to Nick. She does this less out of real affection for him, although there's definitely an attraction, but more to gain the upper hand with her increasingly uncomfortable boss. Her grotesqueness goes into overdrive whenever Audrey's around. Now, Elsie in this is actually played by Charity James, and not. Come on, work for me. It's Vicky. What was her name here? Vicky Lewis. And that's the same. It's this is another one. You can kind of tell Vicky in the Elsie in the movie is a little bit more calm. But then when you you can definitely tell that there's big character differences within the movie and the show. And this is another example. It's Elsie in the movie seemed a little bit more calm. Yeah, she was a little bit flirty, but also to be fair, we didn't really see a lot of Elsie as well. Now. Next person is from a fan favorite. I'm not gonna lie, this is one of my favorite characters, Dr. Mendel Craven. And he also, fun fact, he is also played by Malcolm Denier, who also basically his live action actor plays does the voice of him, and he does perfect throughout the whole series. He is by far has the best character development throughout the series, and it really excites me that he actually came back for the role. And I think they probably went to each of the characters and tried to say, "Hey, you want to come voice yourself in the animated series?" And he's like, "Oh my God, yes, I would love to." So, Dr. Mendel Craven, fussy and neurotic, Craven is an electronic whiz who is also the butt of everyone's joke. Fortune.